We are going to talk now to Michael Barasch. You know, I was just talking about 9/11, and we actually played the actual clip of me and Imus from that morning on 9/11, talking about the Giants and the Broncos, and just an unbelievable day when I think back to it. And again, I do spend every year, September 10th, at Maimonides Ballpark honoring fallen cops and firemen from Brooklyn. Well, you guys have heard me do this commercial now for months for Barasch and McGarry. They're a law firm in Lower Manhattan. And these guys, God bless them, their office is just a couple of blocks away from the towers. And they have spent the last 20 years, specifically my friend Michael Barasch, they spent the last 20 years fighting for you. They really have. They even went and lobbied Congress, extended the compensation fund, and they're making sure 20,000 clients, folks, they've recovered over $3 billion. That's a real number. A lot of commercials today, lots of folks claim this and that. Real number, $3 billion. They want to make sure that everybody who was impacted by 9/11 gets what they deserve, which could mean lifetime health care and compensation. So with me now is, in fact, the man who owns and runs that firm, Michael Barasch, Barasch and McGarry. Michael, good morning. How are you?
Sid, thanks so much for having me, and I really appreciate your giving a voice to the 9/11 community, because there are so many people who don't realize that they are entitled to the same free health care and compensation as the New York City firefighters and cops.
I didn't know that. And the first time you and I talked, I was living in Chelsea during 9/11. In fact, the smoke went right through my window.
Sure it did.
21st and 8th. I took advantage, I feel guilty of saying this, of the great deals down in Battery Park after 9/11. I had an apartment overlooking the Statue of Liberty that was $4,000. I got it for $1,800 because they were finding skin on the air conditioning.
Nobody wanted to live downstairs,
right.
Downtown.
So they left and I moved in. And you said to me, Sid, you may be available to get compensation. You're right there. But I moved in too late. That was the issue,
That's
right?
Right. You had to prove, and you must still prove, that you were exposed to the toxic dust either south of Canal Street to get compensation, or south of Houston Street to get the free health care.
Right.
And you had to have been there by May 30th, 2002, and you moved in just after that.
July.
Yeah, but thank God you're okay. That's all that matters.
Yes, thank God. But there's a lot of folks that aren't. And as I talk about in your commercials, Michael, whether it's skin cancer, lung cancer, prostate cancer, we are seeing more and more. I think if I remember correctly, 68 cancers?
That's right. And sadly, not a day goes by without one of my clients dying of cancer.
Oh,
and, well, it is truly heartbreaking. And reporters always do ask me, how do you deal with that? It's incredibly gratifying to help their families. And it's great for the person who's dying to know their families are going to have financial security. It's some kind of peace for them before they leave us. So the government did the wrong thing when they told us the air was safe to breathe. You remember that?
I do.
But then they did the right thing by creating the Victim Compensation Fund, and they did the right thing by creating the health program and extending both programs until 2090.
Right.
But the trick is you must register. And I'm encouraging everybody to register, even if they're healthy, because the truth is you have to prove you were there. And a lot of companies aren't in business anymore, so they can't write them employment verification letters. A lot of your coworkers are gone, or you don't know where they are. So it's every year that goes by, it gets harder and harder to prove that you were there. So why not register now? It's kind of like an insurance policy.
Sure.
Protect your families, even if you're currently healthy.
Right,
and if you're not healthy, then take advantage of the fact that you're entitled to this free health care and significant compensation.
And that's all great news, but there is some news that is also worth talking about, and that is that you need to do this soon because that deadline to be eligible is fast approaching.
Well, yes. So first of all, I have to say that the Victim Compensation Fund has been extended to 2090 as the health program.
Right.
But if your loved one passed away more than 2 years ago, that's the statute of limitations. You must register within 2 years of your loved one's death. Well, the special master did a wonderful thing. She extended the deadline for those who missed the deadline. But that deadline expires July 29th. That's just 3 weeks from now. So if you know anyone, even if this doesn't affect you, I'm talking to all your listeners now. If you know anyone, and I'm talking about not just firefighters and cops, but some of the 300,000 office workers, the 50,000 students and teachers, the 25,000 downtown residents. If you know anyone who died who is eligible, they were living or working south of Canal Street, their family still has a chance to register, but it must be by July 29th.
Answer this for me, Michael Barasch. 7% of the folks, non-responders, who live down there, went to school down there, worked there, have registered for the fund. 7. 93%, an overwhelming number, the majority, have not. Is it as simple as they just don't know about this?
That's exactly right. I talk to people every day who have cancer, and they call me up, and they were an office worker at Goldman Sachs. I represent 160 people with cancer from Goldman Sachs, or they were a student at Stuyvesant High School, and I'll say, why did you wait so long? And the answer is always either I didn't know I was eligible, I thought this was only for the first responders, which it is for them, of course, and they deserve it more than anyone, but it's also for them because we all believed it when the EPA told us the air was safe to breathe. And as a result, we were breathing the same toxic dust, and we're coming down with the same illnesses.
So for folks who want to get in touch with you at Barasch and McGarry, and they should do it today, again, the deadline July 29th, your opportunity, the window is starting to close here. What is the best way for folks to get in touch with you? Because I'll be honest, I've done a bunch of these law firms since I've come back to New York with this specific case, 9/11 compensation. I've spoken to a bunch of attorneys, and I've done their commercials. None of these guys are as up on this as you are. You are far and away, and I mean this, I've done about 3 or 4 different companies. Glenn Tatchnelly will tell you that. You are far and away the expert on this. And I also feel like when I talk to you off air, and we talk about doing your commercials, that there's an intrinsic value for you that goes above and beyond the money and the compensation you get for these people. You really care. So for folks who want the help, how do they get it?
Well, first of all, I want to tell you, thank you for those kind words. We take it personally here. I have a dozen young men and women working for me whose parents were firefighters or cops who have passed away from 9/11 toxins. I have so many people who take this personally. Of the 15 people who worked for me on 9/11, Dennis Cotter, a paralegal, died of kidney cancer at age 47. Liana Rivera, another paralegal, died of breast cancer at 47. I'm a cancer survivor. So are 3 other people in my office. We were just 2 blocks from ground zero. We take this personally. So thank you for your kind words. That's why I spent 25 trips to Washington lobbying to get these full benefits. But if anybody wants to reach me, the best place is just go to my website so you can learn more about it. There's a chat box that appears. My phone number's up there, too. It's 911victims.com. That's 911victims.com.
911victims.com. Contact my friend Michael Barasch, Barasch and McGarry. And if you're impacted at all, even if you're healthy right now, don't be confused. 9/11, make sure you get the compensation you deserve.
Thank you for helping me spread the word, Sid.
You're welcome. Thank you for trusting in me to do that. I appreciate that. Thank you. God bless you.